In today's video, we're continuing our What If Civilization Restarted series. And as we know, some colonization has happened so far. And there's also, some countries are starting to collapse, get weaker, some are getting stronger. And to start the video, we have a nation deciding to go back to war with a nation. And they lost the war to this nation because of Green Nation support. But the Green Nation just lost a war and doesn't want to lose anymore. So they decide they won't do anything. They decide to continue their advances north and continues their expansion campaign. This is more so light purple, but I still call it pink for some reason. I don't know. They advanced north. This nation had moved their capital to there. Why? It's further away from colonization, and this nation knows about that. And so they move up north towards the city. As they manage to encircle it, then take the city. Their advances continue north along the coast for a bit, quickly advancing up to the border with the other colonizing force, and then this nation decides to capitulate, but not fully, like they're still going to be independent, and still have quite significant amounts of land. It was possible for them that they conquer the full thing, but this nation still has access to both water sources. But this nation has its expansion and is proud of it, I guess. This nation gets a new color as it's reformed. Because it just fell. It gets formed into confederation. Kinda. Now for some collapsing, because I feel like collapsing stuff. I feel like collapse is needed. In this nation, it doesn't start that bad. With a state declaring independence, and a group of people over the course of a few, states or provinces or whatever their divisions are. So we have this color, which is a lighter version of that color, and a bluish color. Then we have a few places leave, and they're located in here. The area this is probably jungly. So likewise has a lot of different groups. And through this, they have many states. And what else? Oh yeah, over here leaves. Then a region over here leaves. Followed by another region over here. Which this is 2 provinces. Then we have this happen. A coastal nation leaves. And then this nation leaves. And then the last nation to leave is located over here. So now let's see the not peace treaty, what the new borders look like. It collapsed, its economy fell, and then it collapsed. Let's see what it's not that great for the nation. But this nation's fine. Nothing happened. Now this nation goes on a bit of an expansion spree into what would be known to us as the Balkans. They have a success in their expansion. So they decide to expand once more. Oh wait, that wasn't what was meant to happen, but they still did it. And everyone's worried about their re-rise. But they don't plan to rise as big. But this nation's still in a good place, deciding to make some expansion. Being an expansionist, I guess. They have some goods to it. This nation over here expanding with the goal of taking some lands they used to have. They move in pretty quick. With them both agreeing to peace, seeing this war as unwinnable. led to a decision to thrive for peace. Well, this is what it looks like. Peace treaty. So not bad for them, for this nation. They just not wanted to have to divert forces from new lands. With a war breaking out over here against this nation, with Orange Nation helping them, which leads to the Brown Nation being able to launch a successful resistance. No one else knows really about what's going on, so they move up into the Balkans. Not Balkans, Baltics. Whatever they call it in this timeline. I don't think it's the same thing. But with this nation getting supported of the Pink Nation. The Purple Nation, I mean Light Purple Nation. With their front line reaching here, and the Gray Nation realizes there's no way they can win. This nation right now is very strong, but could it go weak? Well, yeah. With it being like this. And while the Yellow Nation's happy, they got some expansion. And they decide to annex these lands. Now, the amount of nations that don't like this nation now are growing. With the Purple Nation having a problem. A rebellion happens between a group that's in south of this Purple Nation, the north, and the west. No, east, west. Yeah, the west of this nation. And look, in the south they start a rebellion. Within the north they also do. And then the rest start a rebellion over here, with the goal of creating a nation. Quickly they start expanding. And they even manage to capture big chunks of this nation, including some cities over here. And after succeeding in taking some important lands, this nation agrees to give them independence, and they ask for one demand in the peace treaty. Besides gaining independence, one other demand. No reparations or anything really. But they demand one piece of land. And this is a good color, I guess. And they force the hand of the Purple Nation to give them it. It's this land. And they use it to go on an expansion. This group wanting more expansion here while the Empire didn't. Well, they quickly move in. This nation does not offer too much resistance yet. Them advancing steadily south. This nation did resist quite well. But this nation decided to start landing down here, which led to two fronts. Now in the north, they lost a bit of land. And in the south, they lose a bit of land. Then they push again in the south, with the Blue Nation realizing, yes, they can't do much about it. But they realize that if they get a fair peace treaty like this, then they can just try to regain them later if they gain strength. Or the opposite will happen. As they annex these lands and over here. They annex two patches of land. And while these two pieces of land are very important, with it showing this nation isn't a joke on the map. Now the Purple Nation looks much weaker. So they decide to invade this Green Nation. Well, it goes really well. Until there's a big counter-offensive happens, that even lands on their lands they tried to annex. With them going to where this nation's capital is. And even landing over here and managing to do this. With this nation realizing they just need one thing to keep part of their coast in this war. And well, eventually they get tired of fighting and start slipping back. So they decide to have a peace treaty before they're too weak to fight back, so they can get a fair one. And well, they decide to give away these lands. for a cost. I guess, maybe. Well, this nation decides to invade the other nation, with them having two goals: to gain some more land. Wait, I'm over focusing on here again. They decide to try to gain some land against this nation, with this nation being forced to surrender to them. And well, they decide not to take too much, not to anger the light purple nation from any further decisions. With them deciding not to take the full coast, so this nation doesn't think they're completely evil. With them having got a lot of land out of this treaty, which is good for them. This orange nation needs some help. They want to live. Well, this nation, as you can tell, this, well, Aqua Teal nation, and they decide to launch a invasion over into this nation. The nation to the north of them they don't like because they believe it's a threat to them. Much different than the nation that was in that location in our timeline. But these two nations not wanting to be part of the mega red nation, but also not wanting to be invaded, decides to, well, unify. And what else? This nation decides to invade the green nation, as the green nation's dealing with a lot of problems. Like rebellions and food shortages. So they decide to move in, as instability made it easy. So then this nation was forced to surrender. No, the green nation's gone. One of the original nations. Well, the original nation was a red and blue nation or red nation. Can't remember. Now, that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys.